on? Done? Hi, everybody. Okay. Hi. I can do this. Paula, you tell me what to do. Just right now. Thank you. Okay. Welcome to the Kandie Starr bench dedication ceremony. My name is Tara Spray, and I had the honor and privilege of working with Kandie for 20 years. Throughout our time working together, Kandie was my confidant when I needed advice, my mentor as I explored new ways of thinking and doing, and she was my friend. Her kindness, dedication to students and colleagues, her commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, her fierce competitiveness. Seriously, you should have seen her play softball or hang out and play games with us in the break room. And her belief that we could be better as individuals and thereby be better as an institution are missed every day. She made me a better leader, and far more importantly, she made me a better person, and I miss her. Today, we are gathering to honor her legacy through this bench dedication. Through a few folks who asked to speak this afternoon, we will share our memories, our stories, and our experiences of a woman who meant so much to this college, the employees, and the students of CCC. We will also provide an open invitation for anyone who'd like to say a few words about Kandie. If you aren't comfortable or aren't ready to speak but have something you'd like to share, a memory book is located right over there under Kandie's picture. If you'd rather write than speak. Over the next 45 minutes or so, we invite you to laugh and cry and connect with each other. You can applaud comments or not. Make this space and time yours and what you need. We ask that you continue to keep Kandie's wife, Paula, and Kandie's family and her mom, Lior, in your thoughts. Keep her friends, keep us in your thoughts. We ask you to please take a t-shirt or 2 or 3. We have lots. We ask you to take a cupcake or 2 or 3. We also have lots. At the end of the dedication ceremony. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to have known Kandie and to feel her influence so profoundly. I still hurt, but am comforted to know that you do as well, and that we will have a permanent reminder of Kandie on our campus. And now I'd like to introduce Sarah Deer, the director of the Clackamas Community College Foundation, who will say a few words.
Because kindness matters to us all so much, can we give Tara one more round of applause, please? It's hard. It's difficult to speak when you have a lot of connection to something. Tara's going to put up a couple of pictures that will go across for us to view, but I also encourage you all to look at a space that I'll be talking about here shortly. I want to thank each of you for being here today for this bench dedication. A bench dedication is a naming opportunity facilitated by the Clackamas Community College Foundation, which is why I'm speaking to you today, but I have a little more to say than just that. As you all know, Kandie poured her heart into Clackamas Community College to make it a better place for all of us, and most importantly, our students. During her 20-plus years at CCC, she worked in enrollment services, in graduation services, and for the last 5 years as an academic advisor, which was her dream job. She was also co-chair of our DEI, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. Her passion was unbounded, giving 100% effort into everything she did, whether it was on a committee, advising project, or a student, or even playing softball. The news of Kandie's passing has rippled through our community. Kandie's friend, Melissa, Paula, her wife Paula, as well as her team here at CCC, approached me about the concept of creating a space where those who loved her the most can visit her, reflect, and take note of the significant impact that she has had and continues to have on our community and our college. We spoke for a long time of what might be possible as a meaningful gesture. Having a home between Roger Rick Hall and the Wachino Welcome Center, the 2 places she called home at CCC, instantly became the dream. It was also important that the funding from her bench dedication was a meaningful one. So in Kandie's name, the CCC Foundation established the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Fund to enhance and sustain DEI efforts throughout the college and the community. Most of you here have donated in the effort of raising the $20,000 in Kandie's name, so thank you for your dedication and ensuring that she will be remembered here for years to come. If you haven't had a chance to visit the giving site for Kandie, it has become a place for folks to share their thoughts and memories. Thoughts and memories like these. And I can't get through this part very well without, we got the big box of Kleenex here so that we have an opportunity to use it. I think I might. Kandie inspired us all with her grit and her wit. Students and staff alike are better for knowing her. Kandie was an amazing CCC employee. She loved working at the college. Kandie shined the brightest when she advised her students. Her spirit will continue to twinkle as we assist our students in achieving their goals. Kandie was instrumental in guiding my daughter through her degree requirements. We saw each other at graduation last year, and she had the widest smile and gave me the biggest hug. The warmth she exuded was overwhelming. Kandie was reserved, but still waters run deep, and she cared deeply about her students and her coworkers. Kandie set an example for others in everything that she did. She demonstrated commitment in advocating for equity everywhere. Even in the face of setback or resistance, she went back out there and got to work. I hope to always keep Kandie's spirit in mind. Kandie helped me become a stronger support to those I love. That's made a world of difference to me and my family. She taught by example what it means to provide a caring, safe, and inclusive space for each other. I'll try to be more like you, Kandie. Thank you for always showing up. There are many other voices of remembrance, but I don't think I could read much more than that. On behalf of the Clackamas Community College Foundation, it is my great honor to present to you all the Kandie Starr Memorial Bench, located just outside the main doors of the Wachino Welcome Center. I encourage you all to take a visit on your way out. Maybe there's a little bit of sunshine, which I see coming through, just in honor of her. Please join me in taking a brief moment of silence in recognition of this space. Thank you. And now, Dustin Baer, Director of Student and Academic Support Services, will say a few words.
Hi, everybody. I will give fair warning. I don't usually get through this without being pretty emotional. I'll get hugs in a minute, okay? So my name is Dustin Baer, as mentioned, Director of Student Academic Support Services. As you heard from Tara and Sarah, before me, and those that will follow in the conversations you'll have together in a few moments, we're all here today because Kandie was amazing. I had the privilege to work with Kandie for 10 years. During those years, I learned a lot from Kandie. She brought a dedication to her work and lived her authentic self always. And those of you that know her absolutely know that. She was always the first to call something out, or someone, in this case it was me, when she saw something occurring that wasn't right or just seemed unjust. I so appreciated the honesty from Kandie, especially when I stepped into this role 7 years ago. It's often hard as a leader to know when you're doing something wrong. Ooh. Kandie was never afraid to tell me, I think you're making a mistake. We talked about it a lot. Huh? Oh, no, it was always with grace and it was always with love. Always with love. And unfortunately, we talked about it a lot. Kandie was the person our peers went to when they weren't sure how to speak up or were having challenges with work or life. She helped them, or with their approval, spoke up on their behalf, always anonymously, but was never afraid to share what everybody needed to hear. And as mentioned, I often use Kandie as my sounding board when working through challenges or wanting to implement change, as I knew it would get honest feedback and it would make the process better and it would be more successful. Kandie always had an eagerness to learn and understand why the change was happening, which is why I think she always came with those questions. She wanted to fully understand, why is this happening? And what's the reasoning behind it? And always did it with care. This was particularly true when she sought opportunities in her life and at the college to make the lives of women, members of the LGBTQ plus community, and others from systematically non-dominant populations experience better at Clackamas and in the community. She gave 100%, as mentioned by both the previous before me and everybody probably after me. And she did, including earning her bachelor's degree from Arrowhurst while working full-time and playing on the CCC softball team, which are some of my favorite memories of Kandie, and that's kind of how I'll leave you with that memory. So, a handful of members here from the softball team, and this is probably the place where I can easily speak because it's where I think we had the most fun, laugh, which carried on a ton outside of work and inside of work. Kandie's family, that's where I think I met most of you guys. We're at those games. And it just showed how great a person she was to have all the people that followed her. They were the first ones there. They were the last ones to leave. They supported all of us. We weren't the best. We did win a championship. And most of us have a wristband to remember that. She was also usually the one that was the dirtiest after the game. None of us really dove. She worked harder than all of us. She wanted it so bad. As Kara mentioned, she was super competitive. That was seen at work. It was seen there on the field. I'm sure those that have known her longer than I saw it everywhere in her life. It was also seen by the students she served, the colleagues she worked with, the groups, the projects she led. I'm happy to be able to gather today and honor the greatness of Kandie. And also know that she'll live forever. She'll live forever on at Clackamas, and the people that she challenged every day and she worked with to be better, to do better for our community, for our students, and with a bench out front of our campus saying welcome. That's exactly what Kandie would want. Thank you all for being here today, for supporting me through this, and I just want to thank you for that. So at this time, I want to turn it over to our next speaker, is Kelly White here. Becky. Sorry, Becky. Are you speaking? Okay. So Becky Fiddler, co-president of the Classified Association, has some words to share. Here's a box.
Well, I want to apologize. I'm not here prepared. Kelly really wanted to give this. Kelly wanted to make this statement today because she knew Kandie much better than I had the opportunity. And I didn't even bring my reading glasses. Here she is. Thank you, Lord. I think we'll pause for a minute and let Kelly gather herself so she could read what she wrote. Thank you.
Well, hi. I'm here on behalf of the Classified Association. I'm Kelly White. I'm co-president of the Classified. How does one express the amazing spirit of Kandie Starr? Her selfless generosity, uncompromising belief in all that is good, and her unwavering commitment to family, friends, many of whom she worked with, and to the students. Words, even the best of words, cannot begin to pay tribute or truly capture the whole that was formed by her passing. What does help to fill the void are the stories we hear. The stories about the students that she helped and the futures that they now have because of her kind, gentle guidance. Kandie's memorial page on the foundation website passionately gave her voice to those who didn't yet have their own. In 2008, Kandie approached me about running for president of the association. So you can thank her for me being here. I said I would only do it if she would be my vice president. And so she reluctantly did. And she was co-vice president with Cheryl Wallace. She then moved on to helping more people. She started the first employee resource group. She was instrumental in the beginning of the DEI campaign and later became co-chair. She was an amazing friend and a great advocate to all members, and Kandie was very passionate about equity and inclusion. For me, there was a moment last June that is forever imprinted on my heart. It was a time when we were first coming together, although socially distant. I was in the car for the drive-through graduation with my daughter. We turned right into the parking lot and slowly progressed toward the stage. As we got closer to the stage, I saw the eyes of a friend who I hadn't seen in over a year, and you could tell that there was a huge smile underneath that mask. I immediately jumped out and broke all protocol to give her a big hug. And that memory is captured in a photo on the foundation page. So today we honor her by expressing our profound loss, but also by remembering Kandie, an amazing person who has played a unique and special role in our lives. The loss is there, tangible within each of us. But Kandie exemplified life, love, laughter, and a confident belief in the potential of all. We have the memories of her smile and her quiet spirit that we were privileged to share with her. So we grieve and we cry, but most of all, we will smile because of her. We miss you, Kandie.
Thanks, Kelly. She broke that protocol with me too at graduation, gave me a big hug, and she knows I don't like hugs. And it was awesome, and I will remember it forever. I'd like to introduce Ellen Wolfson. Hi, I'm Ellen Wolfson. Ellen couldn't be here today. At the very last minute, she had something at home and she couldn't make it, and so she asked me to read her remarks on her behalf, so I will do so. Hello to CCC staff and to Kandie's family. I was so sad and in shock, like many of you, when I heard about Kandie's passing. I worked at CCC for 37 years and retired 6 years ago. I was on faculty in the counseling center when I met Kandie. She was 20 years old and starting at CCC. Someone brought her to me because she was scared to start college. She didn't know what she wanted to study and needed some support. Kandie didn't have confidence in herself. The minute I met her, I had the confidence in her, and all I had to do is help her find it in herself. As Kandie struggled with career questions, I kept saying to her, try taking different subjects, join in campus clubs, and you'll discover what you want to do. Kandie jumped right in. Kandie was the only North American student to join the International Student Club that I facilitated. She loved people from different cultures, and they loved her. Kandie helped students with disabilities feel part of campus life. Kandie always volunteered to be part of any effort on campus that helped others. She did well in her classes and she studied hard. Her passion became obvious, supporting students. One day, after 2 years at CCC, Kandie came into my office and said, "I know what I want to do." I asked her what had she decided. "I want your job." We both started laughing, and I said, "Do you want it now or when I retire?" Years later, after I retired, I came on campus to say hello to her. There she was, in my old office, meeting with students. I sat down on my old couch and asked her for advising ideas for someone I was introducing to CCC. We had switched roles, and I watched a confident new advisor make room for another student. I miss Kandie, and I know those of you who worked with her must too. Thank you, Kandie, for walking into my office 20 plus years ago. You were a gift in my life. Ellen Wolfson. We would now like to open it up as an open mic. If there's anyone who would like to share a memory, a story, an experience, we are happy to invite anyone up. We have a, thanks Sarah, Oprah Winfrey style microphone that we will float around.
I never have a problem with speaking, but this is tough. We at Clackamas Community College are a family, one big family. Kandie was amazing. When I first came to work here at Clackamas, I'd walk by her office, she'd call me in, want to talk, and I remember when Kandie and Paula were getting their house up on the Washington coast, and she was so excited. If you talked to her just before that, you'd know she was so excited about that house. And when they finally, everything was in and they got it, I didn't see anybody ever happier than that. And what's amazing is we decided to go up and stay, it was my wife Amy and her sister Beth and I. We decided to go up and Walt, her husband, Beth's husband, and we decided to go up to the Washington coast just because they had a timeshare up there and we're going to use it. And we got up there, and Amy had said something about, I think Kandie and Paula live somewhere up here nearby. Yeah, let's just drive around and see if we can find their house. So we're driving this little neighborhood, and we're all over the place, you know. And we finally go, well, we don't know where it is. Let's go down to the beach and just park and look at the water, because we love that. We went down, we parked by this pickup truck. All of a sudden, Beth, Amy, and I go, "That's Kandie." She was right there. She invited us over to their house. We got to tour the house, which is a wonderful house. And you could tell the pride she took in that house and how much she loved it. And that's what I remember about her, is just her happiness and her willing to help. She always helped everybody. So to my family here at Clackamas, thank you. And it's great to be a part of you. Thank you, Kandie.
Hi, my name's Janice Rosenloff, and I worked at Clackamas for 30 years. And this is just a quick story, but whenever I think of Kandie, I just think of, as everybody said, the smiles, but her eyes would smile before her face did. And her eyes would laugh before she did, and I could look at her and we would be laughing and nobody had even said anything yet. And I also remember her sitting on the bench between Desjardins and the community center. There were a couple times I walked by and she was just sitting there by herself, and she'd say, "Sit down." And we'd just talk about things and see what was, if anybody had a problem. But just that smile, I hope everybody, that will always make you smile when you just think of her eyes laughing and her face lighting up.
Hi, I'm going to get up here so I can see everybody. I wrote something. I didn't plan on talking today, but I can't not, because Kandie was wonderful. The trip, it was magical to go up to Ocean Park. It was like the universe put us together, that it was like a moment. And that was last March. And that was that was the last time we saw her. So I thank the universe for that. I really do. I have a few words. I'm going to just roll them out. Kandie, a friend remembered. Her kindness, her sense of humor, her laughter, and that smile of hers. One who understood how special Clackamas is. Today, when I think of Kandie, my heart hurts, but I smile. I realize the heartache is love, is passion. Kandie's passion fueled her dedication to serve students. Kandie will be missed, but her lovely spirit will live on and continue to strengthen those she has left behind. Thank you. See you later, Callie.
You gonna make me run, Casey?
Hi, everybody. My name is Casey Sims, and I worked at Clackamas for 17 years, so I've known Kandie a long time. And she was great, like everyone said. Something I thought I'd share that's hopefully will bring a smile is she was competitive, as you all said, and we used to have a weekly basketball game. And one day she came and we played together. And she likes to play the post, so we guarded each other. And I might have had a height advantage, but not a toughness advantage, because she was elbows out, strong and fierce, and she scored on me, and so I returned the favor. But after that, we went from being kind of friendly colleagues to being friends. And I was at she always reminded me that she'd scored on me, and that we always, it was just a fun memory that we shared for every time that we saw each other, and I'll miss her very deeply.
Hello, everyone. My name is Casey Layton. Many of you don't know me, and I only knew Kandie for a very, very short time. I'm a crier, so I'm sorry. I'm going to try to get through this. I'm the Equity and Inclusion Officer here at Clackamas Community College, and I'm the first one I got an opportunity to meet Kandie in person. I was really lucky. It was at graduation last year. I, too, broke the rules. But I was very, very new. I didn't know anyone. And I didn't even know who she was, actually, at first. But she was very tall. So that took me by surprise, because I think I'd maybe only seen her on camera, on Zoom camera, and then she had her face covered. But there's this person walking towards me, and I don't know another way to describe it, but hopefully you all get this. She was so magnetic. She was kind of like, I don't mean to use this term, but it's the only thing I can think of, like with a large fish or something, you open something wide underneath water, and it just sucks it. It just sucks it in, like it just opens up. And so Kandie just was walking towards me, like with her arms open. I didn't even know who she was, and there was no way she just drew me in, and I was like, just so grateful for her, because being new and knowing what challenges I knew I was going to face here, she made me feel welcome, and I knew I probably wouldn't have been here had she not fought and sacrificed in the way that she did for equity and inclusion. And I just think about all the other equity warriors who have given their lives and dedicated themselves to something so noble and so important. And so I'm just very glad to be here. And I know I probably wouldn't be if it wasn't for Kandie. So thank you. I just needed to say that, and I represent a lot of Kandie's work, and I hope to take her legacy that she has left here and do right and be right by it. So thank you.
Hi. My name's Randall Fastabend. I'm Paula's brother and therefore Kandie's brother-in-law. And so I've known her for a long time. And as wonderful as you say she was here, she was as wonderful as a family member as well. And as a family member who didn't know very much about what she did up here, I think I came up and had lunch with her one time up here. I didn't know very much about what her role was up here. As a family member hearing from all you, thank you. It's to know that she had an effect up here too, because she had an effect on her family as well. So, and we're all in this together. I miss her too, and thank you for what you're doing up here in her memory. So.
Thanks for being here today. This concludes our formal part of the program. I have a few extra things to say, of course I do. I want to thank Dustin Bear, Greg Castaneda, Sarah Deere, Robin Dryden, and Sarah Steidel for their help in putting this event together. I want to thank Paula for bringing Kandie with her. She comes with her everywhere. We'll begin a different slideshow in a little bit. It will just loop up here for a bit. Lots of pictures of Kandie and that amazing, amazing smile. Don't forget, the memory book is also with Kandie over there on that table. Also, don't forget t-shirts. Please take one or two. There are cupcakes. Please take one or two or four. And most importantly, please continue to connect with each other and hug and laugh and cry. We have lots of Kleenex. We have lots of smiles and joy and stories still to share. Thank you very much for being here.
I've got